Almost 20 years after the United States started its war on terror, driving the Taliban out of power, life is back to square one for millions of Afghans. With the victory of the brutal insurgent group, once again, future of Afghanistan is at stake. Thousands of men and women are grappling with the sudden Taliban takeover of their country, and they are fleeing or in hiding as they await an uncertain future. A report.
A video out in the public domain shows Taliban and Taliban supporters attending mock funerals in Afghanistan with coffins draped in British, US, and NATO flags. Some of those in the crowds are holding gun aloft, while others are waving Taliban flags to celebrate a hasty exit for Washington and its NATO allies. The departure of the last US cargo planes marked the end of a massive airlift in which thousands of people left Afghanistan. And the Taliban are now celebrating as they achieved a goal they had nurtured for 2 decades.
د امریکا یرغل ابتدا نه هم یو ناعقوبت اندیشه اقدامو موږ په لومړي سر کې امریکایانو ته دا خبره کړې وسه دوی باید زموږ په خاوره باندې تجاوز ونه کړي کوم ستونزې چې په 2001 کې واقع شوې وي دوی باید موږ سره خبرې کړې وای او جګړې ته اړتیا نه وای پیښه شوې داسې متاسفانه امریکایانو دغه وخت چارواکو د غرور نه کار واخیست او عقوبت د خپل کار نه و سنجولی نن دا نتیجه چې دوی په ماته تمامیږي او افغان ملت بریا ترلاسه کړه او لویه معرکه یې وګټله خپل هیواد آزاد کړ دا نتیجه ترلاسه شوه.
The Taliban now control all of Afghanistan except for the mountainous Panjshir province, where a few thousand local fighters have pledged to resist them. Common Afghans in the country remain fearful, as there have been sporadic reports of killing and other abuses in areas under Taliban control, despite the group's pledges to restore peace and security. Journalists in Afghanistan are also fleeing the country, as they know that the brutal Taliban has a history of targeting the media professionals. Just a few days ago, a video of a television anchor from Afghanistan, surrounded by armed Taliban fighters, asking his audience to not be afraid, became one of the most widely shared clips on social media. The Afghan news anchor, Bahishtar Ghand, who interviewed a Taliban spokesperson after the Taliban took power earlier this month, has fled Afghanistan, raising concerns about the future of female journalists in the country. Arghand says the Taliban ordered her employer Tolo News to enforce all women to wear a hijab, and that female anchors were suspended in other stations.
At the moment, the Taliban don't accept. So when a group of people don't accept you like a human, they don't have any good picture from you on her mind, on his mind. So it is, I believe it is so difficult. So you think there is a future for a journalist? You think a journalist can stay in Afghanistan? They can stay and live with her family in Afghanistan. So when there is no future for me, how can I stay in Afghanistan? How can I continue my job? I just want to become voice of my people, not voice of a group of people came and said, tell what we want.
The United Nations has warned that up to 500,000 Afghans could flee the country by the end of the year and has called on neighboring countries to keep their borders open. The current crisis comes on top of the 2.2 million Afghan refugees already in neighboring countries and 3.5 million people forced to flee their homes within Afghanistan's borders. Among those who are already staying in different parts of the world, they fear the worst is yet to come. They remember the excesses of Taliban ideology one that restricts women from education and employment and metes out swift justice to anyone who breaches the group's harsh interpretation of Islamic law.
मेरे फीलिंग ये है कि अब इसके बाद कोई उन लोगों का कोई वो नहीं होता है, मतलब दर्द नहीं होता है। जो भी उसका दिल में होगा, जो वो होता है, तो अपने मतलब क्या के लड़ाई शुरू करेगा फिर दोबारा, क्योंकि डर नहीं उसका। उस समय डर था, यही अमेरिका वाले से डर था, क्योंकि अगर हम मतलब लड़ाई करें अफगानिस्तान में, कुछ वो गड़बड़ करे तो अमेरिका वाले तो हम लोगों का ख़त्म कर देगा। अभी उन लोगों के दिल में डर नहीं है।
The future of Afghanistan is uncertain. Despite deep concern in the international community, Taliban have tried to assuage fears that their rule will be marked by the same level of brutality that became a hallmark of their previous stint in power. The international community and common Afghan people are now fearful of what comes next.